graphical design isn't just one or the other. A graphical designer can have a touch within multiple fields. As to the project I made, ISO. The task we had was to make 3 different products within the subject graphical design. It could be within posters, web design, motion design, and so on. You can make logos, book covers, signs or flags in my case, or a movie intro, or yet again, in my case, an infographic for a live stream I do every now and then. Now of all the things you've just seen, all projects made by me, is none of them the task I decided to do. As I mentioned, a graphical designer can have a touch within multiple fields. This is one of those projects. ISO stands for Intro, Style Frame, Outro. The ISO project contains a demo animation to demonstrate the different segments. Style frame being the one integrated into the demo animation, while the intro and outro being added in post-production, being carefully placed in, making sure it follows the rule of thirds for the intro, but fucking it up for the outro. At least Valve will be happy to know their software logo got it decently enough right. Rendering will take half a day, there's no time to fix it. We'll now take a look at the project in its entirety before breaking it down.
City life is all I know. I traded all for a chance to grow, to find who I am, who I'm meant to be, the person inside the real.
The obvious first look show a repeat of a character. A logo, if you may, as a logo is not limited to a string of letters or a still image. The second thing you may have noticed is the attempt to replicate the feel of an opening to a movie or series. Mainly the style frame segment, showing the name of the affiliated entity. Before so, we see an animated intro graphic. Not as much quality as the Universal intro, or as much of a punch as...
You ever get the feeling something really bad is about to happen?
Alright then.
But it gets the job done of being an entity presenting themselves intro. The third and last is the outro. Assuming there would be credits displayed, either as a scrolling text or as cuts, entities tend to put their logo at the very end, usually as a still image of some kind. Sometimes, like the case of ISO, they are animated. The idea for this demo animation came from 2 places, a previous project and the idea of something happening in a city. Alleyways are a classic example of something about to go down. The most classic example would be the Batman movies and series, as well as the series including Batman. That might be where I acquired my inspiration from. Making the location was relatively easy with my experience in how to use the software. Placing a couple buildings and an alleyway with a dumpster. Expand on it as I experiment with the camera angles, add a row to hide the gap between the houses and lighting, and take from there. I knew I wanted an item as it fitted best with the more mysteriousness in the logo, so I had to add that. I decided to attempt a creative decision on making it fly from day to night. It worked. Difficult to ask for more. I wanted the logo to show up briefly to display the entity name, then disappear. End scene. Now, the intro and outro is obviously very much the same, by choice. The beginning, you only see the eyes. The eyes are just the eyes. What about the rest? The more you see, the more you get to know. An unknown beginning, a knowledgeable end. You start by looking into its eyes before making connections to see them as a whole. This has been the ISO project. I may polish it later, but for now, have a wonderful day.